Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 25-8 podcast. Tyler Sudman, what's up, big dog?
Let's go, baby.
We got a very special guest with us today. We're out here in Glendale, California. Two-time hair salon winner of the year.
Yeah.
We're here with our girl, Mel. She's been doing some cool stuff, so we wanted to come and chop it up and see how she got to, where she's at today. And she's been doing some cool stuff, man. What do you think, Ty? You excited to be here or what?
Oh, I'm ready to run it up. I'm excited to get into all the nitty gritty deets.
Mell Bartemian, baby. What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the podcast. What's up, girl?
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is my first one. So
Hell yeah. Pop the podcast cherry.
yes, happy to be here.
Glad we're able to do that. Hell yeah. Welcome to the 25-8. No, yeah, but thank you for inviting us to your studio and letting us be here and share this, creative space with you. We want to just talk and dive in a little bit about like what you do and like what got you here. So first of all, like where are we? Where are we right now? This is your studio, right? Yeah.
Yes, this is my salon, Haus of Blend.
House of Blend, shout
Haus
out.
of Blend, yes. Glendale, California.
Hey.
So I've had it for about 2 years now.
No way.
Yes.
Okay.
Literally in the middle of COVID, I decided I want a salon. And my dad's like, are you crazy? Like, we're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the pandemic's going to end. And he's like, I was like, no, it's fine. Let's do it. So I found the spot. And literally a month later, I like signed the contract. And now we're here.
Now we're here.
That's
huh?
awesome.
Now
Yeah.
we're here. Yeah.
That's cool.
And I have about like 13 girls that work with me.
Nice.
We do hair, makeup, and brows. Mainly color. Haus of Blend,
I
obviously.
gotta get my eyebrows done.
No, straight up.
I'm about to dye my hair in this motherfucker right now,
But yeah, that's kind of what we do here.
How long have you been doing hair?
I've been doing hair for 10 years now.
10
Damn.
years.
10 years.
Okay,
right out of high school.
Okay.
I went to GCC.
Okay,
I went to
yeah.
GCC for a year because I wanted to go to college. I wanted to move out and like live that like college life.
Gotcha.
So this wasn't always like what you wanted to
No,
do,
I always
You
wanted to
did?
do hair
Okay, cool.
actually. So
Yeah.
let's backtrack. I've
Yeah, yeah.
always
bring
wanted
us
to
back
do
a little bit.
Yeah.
and-
Okay. So high school, I was always like the one like curling everyone's hair, doing everyone's makeup. And I always knew like the beauty world was what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do makeup.
Yeah.
I was never about the hair. So I loved doing makeup. And then when I graduated, my mom told me to just go straight to cosmetology school. And I was
Okay.
like, no, like I want to go to college, like so fun.
Do
like
the college
Yeah.
life.
yeah, I
Experience
want to.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to
for
move
sure.
out. I want to go to the parties. Like I want to
Go
live
to the
my
dorms
yeah,
and do all
like
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And high school, I cheated my way through high school. I literally tell this story to everyone, and they're like, Mel. And I was like, I made people do my homework. I cheated on my tests.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just like
paid people to do your
got-
research.
You sound like
Yeah.
Tyler Sudman
I
over
know,
here.
straight up. That's what I did. Hey, anything to get me by.
I was not a school person. I don't, and I still am not. But so got through high school. I get to college, and I don't know anyone in my classes, so I don't have anyone to cheat off of. I'm like, I have to do my own homework. Like I'm not doing my own homework. Like I went and I did my cheer, and then I left. So after the first year, my mom's like, Mel, like stop, like. You're not moving out. Like, you're not going to
Right.
college.
Yeah.
She's like, just go and start cosmetology school. And I was
Yeah.
like, 1 more year, Mom. She's like, no, go. And I was like, okay, fine. So I'm like 19 at this point, and I signed up to Paul Mitchell.
Nice.
And I
That's
did.
a big school. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the one around here. So it was close. And so I did that for about a year, graduated, and then I got my license at 20. And now I'm 30.
Congrats.
So
10 years later.
A decade
man.
in the game, baby.
Holy cow.
yes, it's been 10 years. And
So take us through that process a little bit. So you got out of high school. You were doing cosmetology school. What was your first gig? Like when you first started, like, okay, I'm finally doing what I went to school for. you know?
yeah, well, my first gigs were in my house in like our spare room because I was coaching gymnastics at that time. And they
19-year-old, 20-year-old.
I was coaching gymnastics from 16 to like 22.
Damn.
So for a while I was doing both.
Nice.
And so I finished cosmetology school and I tell them, I was like, okay, I'm leaving. And they're like, no, Mel, like you're not, like you need to wait till the season's over. And I was like, okay, I guess I won't go anywhere. So I was coaching gymnastics part-time. And then on my spare time, I would like have these girls come to my house and I had no idea what I was doing. Like they would show me what they want and I would like, just like wing it.
Edward Scissorhands, just get in there and
I had no idea what I was doing, like at all. I would like paint little pieces of like blonde on people, and I would like go to the store and like look at the picture and the swatch, and I was like, I think this looks right.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I swear I had no idea what I was doing for like the longest time. And like someone was like, just fake it till you make it. And like I was like, okay, fake it till you make it. Like,
do you agree with that mentality? Did it help you get to where you're at?
Yeah,
just
because I had no idea what I was doing for like the first 3 years.
Yeah. Well, experience is the best teacher.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube and Instagram helped me a lot, honestly. But so my first gig was taking like these girls that like I kind of knew like in my parents' house. Like that was my
just
gig.
Local girls.
Yeah,
right?
local girls. And you know, some of them still like come to me and I'm like, damn girl, like
times have changed. Hell
you're the real MVP because I don't know what I did on your hair. And then so once I finally finished like the season at the gymnastics place, I was like, all right, I'm done. Like this is my goodbye. Like I'm leaving. And I did like a little Euro trip, came back, and then
what parts?
That trip, I went to Sweden to visit my cousin, and then we went to like Barcelona and Ibiza.
Do you feel like that helped you out a little bit? Just kind of put your thoughts together a little bit, like getting yourself out of where you were and doing something different?
No, I mean, I've always loved to travel, but that was like my first like leaving the country at like, I think I was still 20 because you're allowed to drink in Europe at 18, but
at 15,
whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So I go to Europe, I come back, and I get my first job as like an assistant.
Okay.
And I feel like that experience is kind of like what shaped me into like the stylist I am now. Yeah. And like I am where I am because of everything that went on there. And yeah.
No, everything that went on there. I get it. Yeah. So you feel like you kind of, that gave you like your kind of your bread and butter, you know what I mean? Like it helped you understand like now being in the real world, that taught you more than the school, I feel like, right? Being in the real world experience and learning that.
That and like what I want to do, how I want to be, like the stylist I want to be.
So you pick and choose what you liked and didn't like from that experience, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I was an assistant for about 6 months, and I hated it.
Why'd you hate it?
Of course.
Honestly, being an assistant isn't the end game. We all know this.
Yeah.
But I was assisting like 2 girls, and I would work from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and they were paying me like $50 a day.
Jack squat.
Nothing at all.
That's
and
crazy.
It wasn't about the money. It was about like the experience, but it wasn't like my place, you know? I felt like I didn't really fit in. So I would just go to work. So it really made me like want to be on my own. I was like, I don't want to be an assistant. Like, this isn't what I want. Like, I want to be on my own. So 6 months in, I tell them like, hey, like, I kind of want to start being a commission worker.
Sure.
So I start like taking my own clients, and
I
started kind of helping out like 2 other girls that weren't the ones I started with, and I learned a lot from them.
Yeah.
And so I was taking my clients, I was assisting them, and I just realized like every client I was taking were the clients I was bringing in. So I was like, why am I working commission? There's no point. Like, they're not giving me clients.
Right.
Like, they're my clients. They're my friends. Like, so after a couple months of that, I was like, I want to rent. And I was like, I don't even, like, can I do that? Like, I'm like 20 years old. $1,000 is a lot,
That's
you know?
crazy,
The rent is $1,000. And I was like, okay,
fresh
like,
out of high school.
Yeah, I was like, I don't make money. Like, can I afford $1,000? And I was like, okay, you know what, Mel? If you're going to break even, you're going to break even. But, like, you're going to be on your own. And so I was like, I want to rent. And they're like, okay. So I started renting, and now it's all on me. Like, I have to bring the clientele. I have to do everything. So it really made me like bust my ass off. I would do so much free work, so much like free work, so I could build this portfolio of mine and kind of get to where I'm at. So a lot of free work and a lot of trial and error.
But I feel like that's like a gift and a curse, you know what I mean? Because you're doing that free work, but you're still kind of like learning the ins and outs of like what you're missing, what you need to do better, and things like that, right?
Definitely. Yeah. And then when I started, I feel like social media just became like popular. So I was like posting on Instagram constantly, like I was so annoying. Like every day I would post like pictures and pictures and pictures.
Here's Mel with her 10 posts.
Another hair post. Like I know I was annoying, but I was like, I need to. Like if I'm not going to do it, someone else is. And I remember like one of my coworkers, he had told me, he's like, it's going to take you about 10 years to build a clientele. And I was like, I don't have 10 years. Like, no, like
we have to do this tomorrow.
Yeah, like that's not happening. And that was because social media wasn't a thing. So I worked my ass off. I would DM like influencers. I'm like, let me do your hair for free, like for a post. Like, so I did that a lot too. And I feel like that helped.
Sure. And this is all while you're working at another shop, right?
No, I was only in one shop.
Okay,
but
well,
I was.
But you had your own chair.
Yeah, this is still the first salon that I'm at. Like renting.
Going back to what you were saying is like it was kind of a make it or break it at that point, because you're like, hey, now it's all on me.
Yeah,
I have to bring in the people.
Yeah,
I have to make my own money. I'm not assisting these. These other girls anymore and stuff like that. So.
And it was like we would charge like $120 for like a balayage. Like
is that a lot or
what is that?
It was so little. Like it's
how much is balayage now?
Now it's like starting 400.
Damn. Okay, so you were doing your charity work.
So but back then that was a lot. Like you know, but things have changed. Like a balayage back then, it would be like 2 to 3 hours. You're in and out, and now it takes like 5 hours because you do so many different things now. Like you root shadow, you tone, like you do this, you do that, and there's so much to it.
So balayage, just to understand it, it's where like the hair comes into a different.
It's like right? Okay, I hate the words that we use for hair because it's just like it's a method. So I'm just using balayage because it's everyone knows what that word is, but
it's like that blend, right? It's a blend.
Yeah, maybe except for you guys. It's like a style you use for the hair that like it's like a seamless look, but whatever. Not the point. But yeah, so times have changed, hair has changed, a lot has changed. And so I was there for, I want to say 2 years. And then I left that salon and I went to my second salon. So I've gone to 2 salons and then I opened my own place.
Okay.
Yeah.
What determines those changes like in the time? Is it like social media presence? Is like who determines like the ins and outs of like what's in hair, you know what I mean? Because I feel like now with social media, man, you look at one person, it's like you get a haircut and then fucking look next week, it's like something else is popping already.
It's just a trend. You know what I mean? I don't know how these trends start, but like someone starts this trend and everyone wants it. Like now there's like the copper hair is a trend. Like everyone wants copper hair, or like it's just a trend.
So you also do the dyeing or just the cuts?
No, I dye,
everything.
I cut, I do it all,
cool.
except for styling. I don't style.
One-stop shop, baby.
Yeah, the salon does. I don't.
That's good.
I'm very particular with what I do now, but
because now you can pick and choose.
Yeah, I can pick and choose. I worked I did everything for 10 years. So now I'm like, nope, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to work Saturdays. I want to do,
Exactly.
But because I can. Like,
don't you feel like that helped you like understand the ins and outs of like hair and like knowing like the grunt work to like cutting hair to the, dyeing to now, onto bigger things? Do you think like that beginning stages helped you like understand everything to now owning a salon? You know what I mean?
No, of course, because at first you're doing everything and you're like, okay, well, I like this, I don't like this, but I'm going to do it because I need to make money, and be like, but I'm really good at this one. So I'm going to really like focus on this. And me personally, blonding was what I loved, like making girls like super blonde, like
your
this bright.
specialty?
Yeah, like I feel like that bright blended blonde is like my specialty. And
no orange hair.
No orange hair. Unless you want orange hair, no orange hair.
No, please.
And it's so funny because like you'll see like 4 girls that I've done, and their hair semi kind of looks the same because everyone wants that certain look.
Right.
So, you know, you build the brand of what you want to do.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is bright blended blondes.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
But
love
like
it.
back to what he was saying is and going based off of what you just shared is like you started basically in a sense as the janitor, right? You were working for these 2 girls as
I was literally the
assistant.
janitor.
Right. And like you had just said, you learn all these different things, what you like, what you don't like. Hey, yeah, coming up, you had to do it just for the money and to build your brand and your business and your career and all of that. And then it got you to like where you're at now, right? But going back to the social media thing, so do you think as far as self-esteem, having a certain image online compared to maybe in person a little bit, because now it's not only with like just the hair and Botox and all this other stuff that girls do, which is totally fine. No one has a problem with it, and if you do, fuck you. But
you can't sit with us.
Yeah. But do you think like how do you more so like with your I want to ask like on basis of your clients when they come in and they're like, you know, they want to portray to be this certain person, like, have you ran into that? And if you have, how have you dealt with that to help them with their own self-esteem and not try to like put on this front, you know? Because nowadays with social media, it's like, you can be a completely different person.
Yeah.
And then in person, it's completely opposite. We were talking about some stuff off camera, which we won't mention, but you know what I mean?
We got it on the B-roll, so we might put it out. I don't know. Yeah.
So have you ran into that with clients of yours, whether they're friends or just people that have came in? And if so, or even if with yourself, if you're willing to share, how have you dealt with that? Because you are in the beauty industry.
Ooh, well,
that's tough, huh?
That is
like telling someone like, hey, you're not going to look like this, but you're going to look similar to this kind of.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't even know how to start that. Like, there's so much to that. One, I feel like how I portray myself on my Instagram is literally like who I am, like as a person.
Aries gang.
Yeah. Like, I never get ready. Like I'm ready right now. I never get ready. Like I come to work looking like a hot mess. And even like at all my salons, they'd be like, Mel, like, can you look a little better? Damn. And I'm like, ugh, but like, this is me, you know? And like, personally, I used to work with like models and stuff, and I would get so insecure because I'm like, oh my God, they're so hot. Like they're tall, skinny, pretty, and I don't look like that. Like I don't want to work with them, you know? And so I come to work, I look like a hot mess. And so I feel like people feel comfortable. Like I'm not trying to come in looking 10 out of 10, like
a little more relatable, right?
Yes. I feel like I try to be as relatable as I can. Like I come to work in leggings, a top, my hair in a bun. My hair, if it's done, it's staying done that whole week. I'm not touching it. I used to wear glasses. I had my glasses on. So I try to be like very relatable.
Right.
So I don't want my clients to ever feel like they're not something enough, you know?
It's not something that's unattainable, right?
Yeah.
It's everything's in reach, you know?
And I feel like you build the clientele you want, you know? I never had that like clientele of perfection walking in like all dolled up, which is fine. I don't care, but I wouldn't even want that because I would feel insecure. Yeah. I feel like I just have a regular, like me. I feel like my clients are a lot like me. That's the perfect way to say it, you know?
That's good.
So I hope they feel comfortable. I think they feel comfortable. Some of my clients I've had for like 10 years. My goal in this salon was just to feel like a home. And I feel like it's very homey. Like everyone comes. Yeah, everyone, they're like, oh, wow, this doesn't feel like a salon. It feels like a house. And I was like,
it feels like a dope house, man.
Yeah.
We pulled up. She had boxes of pizza ready for us. Glasses of wine. Man, I felt right at home.
Sign me up.
So I felt I'm going to do my hair right now after this, you know?
Yeah. That was my whole point. Like I never wanted to open up a salon to be the busiest salon in Glendale or the most poppin' salon. Like I feel like everyone can be successful I think everyone is successful. This town is full of so many like really talented hair and makeup and beauty artists. And like the point of House of Blend wasn't to be the best ever or the busiest. I just want people to come in here and feel comfortable. And the group of girls I have, like, we're literally family, and there's no drama, like no drama at all.
That's good.
And it's just comfortable. It's fun. We come, we work, we leave. Sometimes I'm in here alone and I love it. Like, I'm like, ooh, this is so fun, you know? And sometimes it's a madhouse. It's so full. And I'm obviously blessed, but I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of people in here. Like, you know? So I just try to make everyone feel as comfortable as possible.
How was it your first year, like opening up the salon and like having your own client? Because you already like said you had your own book of business, and now you're referring them to your own place. You know what I mean? So you feel like you have to like give an extra, you know, welcoming to those people and show them like, all right, this is me now. This is what I'm about. How was that first year?
Honestly, my first year, after all the little breakdowns, the stress.
What is that? Talk about what breakdowns? What'd you do? Tear down the walls and shit? What are you doing?
Well, no. So I was an independent stylist for 10 years. I would do my work and I would leave. Like, that's what it was. It was super easy. I had no, like,
overhead.
Nothing. Yeah. And on it, like living at home, like I was very spoiled. I didn't have to do anything, you know. My parents took care of me. My mom cooked my meals. She did my laundry. She did everything for me. So like I grew up a princess, like as everyone should. And so
and now you're here like pulling up you know, toilet paper on the restroom.
Yeah, literally the first week, like I was sticking my hand in toilets, like taking stuff out, like taking out the trash, like sweeping the floor. I sound so annoying. Janitor. Like I was the janitor again. But like
you
know,
everything.
I was everything. So I would I was like, this is so much work. Like I learned how to do laundry for the first time when I opened up my salon because I had to wash the towels. And I was like, I don't wash towels. I don't take the trash out. This isn't me. Like, you know.
Yeah, here you are with the glass of wine and the towels in the other hand.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
So I really feel like it made me grow as a person. That's good. You know, do these everyday things that everyone does. So it made me grow up a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I needed that.
You definitely want to put yourself in situations that make you grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So stuff that gets you out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? You were so used to, you know, coming into a salon, have everything done for you. And now you're here with your own salon and you figure out like the little things that you have to pay attention to. Are the baskets full? Are there enough, you know, towels at each station? Do they each have their own, like, enough of their own, you know, supplies and stuff
for
like
sure.
That, right?
And so, like, if anything would go wrong, they'd be like, Mel. And I was like, what do you want me to do about it? And they're like, what do you mean? It's your place. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. Like, okay, shit. You're right. Okay, let's see. So now, like,
Uber Eats, paper towels, please.
Yeah, exactly. And like, something will be leaking. They're like, Mel. And I'm like, okay, let me see if I can figure out how to make it stop leaking, you know?
That's crazy.
So I'll like be on the floors or like I'll be like cleaning stuff, like up in the ceilings. Like it definitely made me grow as a person.
No, for sure. Like when I had my first business with Kareem, bro, we had our first office in Buena Park. And bro, we had one time where the ceiling caved in because the AC unit messed up and it was leaking water. And we're in the middle of our office and the ceiling caved in. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know how to deal with this shit. Like, I know finance stuff. Like, what am I supposed to do with this ceiling just caving in? You know what I mean? So it's like, it definitely like helps you and pulls you out of what you're normally doing and like do different things. So for sure, growing, you know what I mean? Like, I can see like as growing pains for sure. Yeah.
And then my first year, everyone was kind of an independent stylist here. So everyone rented their station and they came in, they did their work and they left. So all of us were a bunch of independent stylists. So it was very easy. Like the business aspect was very easy. I didn't have to deal with anything. Everyone, they checked out their own clients. If there was an issue, they dealt with it. So it was very easy. And then year 2 came along, just this past year. And this is when I like actually felt like a business owner. And the amount of times I've cried. Like, everyone acts like owning a business is like glitz
So
and glam.
easy. Yeah.
And they act like nothing goes wrong ever, but it's hard.
This sounds like the taxes came in or something.
It's hard. So we kind of transitioned into like half and half now. So half of my stylists are independent contractors and the other half are commission workers.
Okay.
So with that, obviously they're under me. If they need anything, Mell. If something goes wrong with the client, Mell.
Gotcha.
And then on top of that, like I have my own clients. So like on a busy day, like I'm dealing with my clients. And then if something's happening with the clients, I have to deal with that. So it was just like Mell. And I'm like,
I'm busy.
I'm like, so for a
eye
while,
twitching. She's like,
I swear. And for a while, I don't know if like Mercury was retrograding. Something
Gatorade was a
was,
Metro
something
game, guys.
was
Let's
in
go.
the air because it was just like madness.
Yeah.
Like we were dealing with madness to the point like I would leave work and I would cry. And like,
Damn.
I think my parents had like COVID or something. So I hadn't seen them for a week. And like in that past week, like so much went wrong at the salon. And I didn't tell them because obviously they're not, and I don't live
Sure.
at home. So I was like, I haven't seen them. I haven't told them. And I go home and my dad's like, how's work been? And I was like, great. And he's like,
Freaking out.
they're like, are you okay? I was like, why did I open up a salon? And they're like, well, honey, like, you're stuck with it. And I was
Yeah.
like, I know. I just need to cry a little
need to
bit.
vent to someone.
Yeah. So I like cried it all out. And they're like, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I was like, you're right.
I was about to say that, but I mean, it's so cliche, but it's the truth.
I know. And
you
it's so cliche.
Yeah.
It's just,
But
if it was easy, everyone
I
would do
feel like
it.
those cliche like phrases are so true.
Yeah.
You know, they're set for a reason. You know? I mean, if
Yeah.
they were
Cliche
easy,
for a reason.
anyone would open their own fucking salon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not. And that's why a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So I give you kudos at, you know, being here and where you're at now.
Thank
man.
you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
What did that look like though? Because bringing in other girls to whether they're independent contractor or you know commission or whatever working under you. So how did you that aspect of the business? Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna open my own shop, but obviously this is like a big space. Cameras don't catch it, whatever. But it's like, how am I gonna fill this room to then supplement my expenses and also like help these other girls? So how did you go about searching these other girls? Was it from prior salons and you brought some over? Like, how did all of that pan out?
So at first I didn't want a salon. COVID happened and we were like working from home, and then we finally went back in the salon, and I was like, I think I kind of want to do my own thing. So me and one of the girls that works here, we went and we were like checking out salon suites. So it's basically like your own little studio.
Right.
And they were so small and so expensive.
Yeah.
Like the biggest one was like 600, like not even 600 square foot, like maybe 300 square foot, and it was like $2,500.
Damn.
And I was like, that's so stupid. Like,
Yeah,
it's
what's the
so
point?
much
That's
for
an apartment right there.
it's
yeah.
so tiny. And I was like, okay, if I have my 2 clients and then you have a client and I have an assistant and like your client comes with someone, there's like, we can't like, there's
fit,
no
yeah.
room.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, let me go find like a smaller spot. We'll have like 4 chairs in there, me, you, and like maybe one more person. Like,
Sure.
it was supposed to be super tiny. And then my dad found this spot because he had originally done work on the previous
Lessor.
Person that rented it out. Or
yeah, whoever, it was like a yoga studio, and he had
Okay.
done work on the place. And
So you got the inside scoop.
yeah, so
now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 12 chairs in here,
And-
13 chairs,
yeah,
something like that.
something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, so
That's
he's
crazy,
so
yeah.
he brings me here, and I was like, well, it's a little bigger than I wanted, but like it's fine, you know, it's okay. And I don't like working with a lot of people. Like my whole I have had so many panic attacks when the salon would get busy. I would cry constantly. I'm like, there's too much happening. I can't breathe.
Just
like
anxiety. through the roof.
anxiety. So I wanted a smaller salon, and it's still like there are 13 of us in here, but 3 of them are makeup artists, so they're here mainly on the weekends, and then we kind of like all work different hours, so it's never too hectic in here. So
you still have enough space to
Right.
do your thing.
yeah,
Right,
and
yeah.
like stay sane.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
That's
cool.
crazy.
For
But
sure.
how did you get them in here?
Oh
Like, how
yeah.
did you find them?
Sorry, I don't know. We totally got off topic. I don't even. Okay.
No.
So,
we
yes,
love
it was
but-
because of the. So me and my friend, we see the salon suites. It's too small, so I
Right.
decide I'm gonna open up a salon. And so I had me and I had her, and then this girl I used to work with at the old salon, she was working at some like random salon, and I went to get my hair done with her, and I
Okay.
was like, you're coming with me.
You're a
So-
good fit.
I was like, you're coming with me. Like, I want to work with you again. Like, you're really good.
Yeah.
And then one of the girls that I also had worked with, she was like, I want to come too.
Okay.
So right there, I had 4 girls, and I was like, okay, 4 plus me, we're good, and we'll be fine,
Yeah.
you know? And the 4 of us start, and then one makeup artist came. So then I was like, okay, 4 girls, 1 makeup artist, like, we're good.
Perfect.
And then slowly, like, people started coming, and we
how
just
it
started
always
growing. And then there was a point I couldn't even hire anyone because
Yeah.
all my chairs were full. And I was like, uh-oh.
Have you ever had to like replace someone for someone else? Like, hey, you're not cutting it type of deal? I don't know if that's a thing or not.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a thing, but
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm really picky with like the
Who
people
comes
I
in here?
hire and the people I let like become stylists,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, it's my reputation on
Exactly.
the line.
It's your brand. It's your reputation.
Yeah. And I do like to have the girls that work here be trained under me. So that's how I feel the most comfortable, like raising them into the stylists. But obviously you have to have other people with other
Sure.
Views.
talents and do things that we don't do. So that's how I came in. I came in with 4, and I was like, all right, 4 renters. They're going to pay rent.
Mhm.
Like, we're going to be good. It's going to be fine. And then it just kind of grew.
It just grew.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
To 13 now, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
insane.
think we would fit anymore in here.
Shit, I'm about to start cutting hair. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no,
You gotta
no.
fucking.
I get
make
the
a
corner
move.
right here,
No,
but-
I'm just kidding.
But so obviously being super successful as you are, you just took us a little bit like through your story and all of that. What do you think are some, like, give us your top 2 key factors in terms of like what contributed to your success along the way, and like what you feel that really helped you personally in terms of doing all that. Like, give us 2 things that you would say.
Always saying yes. Like,
To any style?
to anything.
Really? Okay.
Any hour of the day.
Even if you don't know how to do it.
Even if you don't know how to do it, you say yes. You're going to do it. You're going to figure it out. You say yes, and you post. Post on Instagram as much as possible and take in every client. I used to work every hour of the day. Like, I would start at like 7 a.m. and my last client would be at like 7 p.m.
Damn.
I took in everyone, and I posted a lot. And you need to put in the effort to become successful.
Right.
Like, if you want it handed to you, like, it's not going to happen. And I feel like a lot of people, not in the beauty industry, just in general, like, they think success is going to be handed to them.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Right.
I'm sorry to tell you guys. It's
Yeah.
not.
You
Like,
gotta
What do you
go out and
mean?
get it.
I've been waiting. I've been praying. What do you mean?
yeah, no, it's not. So you have to put in the work. You have to put in the hours.
Yeah.
You have to put in everything.
How's that been when you had someone come in and ask you for something like super out there and you've like had to figure it out? What
I
is
would
that like?
YouTube things.
Okay.
I would literally go on YouTube.
We're all for YouTube
I would-
University. Yeah.
I would
YouTube
go on
University,
YouTube and
yeah.
like people would want like these like bob cuts back in the day, and I had no idea how to do it. So I'd go on YouTube and I would watch how it's done, and I would go and I would do it. And like, or like when I started doing extensions, like I didn't know what I was doing. Someone wanted extensions, I YouTubed it, and
They came out great.
no, I probably did it really bad. Like it was probably terrible.
Don't
but
say that. No
I
way.
mean, I don't know.
This is like years ago. We're going back to when I first
Okay,
started.
okay, okay.
Like we're going
we
back.
Now
we
you're
got a
with the
friend
shit,
in the
so, yeah.
background that you did some on. They look, I don't know. They look
Her
pretty good.
extensions are great.
Let's see those. Yeah.
No, like back in the day, I had no idea. And I remember like when like the girl I used to work for, she's like, Mel, like that's fucking terrible. And I'm like, I don't know. I went on YouTube.
But do you
like,
think the client knew?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Like only.
And then again, this is years ago. Like,
but shout out to those clients that kept with you from like the
Yeah,
beginning.
literally.
And, like, yeah. To where you're at now, because now you'll fucking you'll get it done. Like,
and don't get me wrong, like I've fucked up like throughout the years. Everyone has, but it's how you handle it, and if you take care of them, and you fix it. You know?
Yeah. No,
So to that point, give us, if you're willing to share
some of my fuck ups.
Yeah, give us like the one that just sticks out, and you're like, fuck.
How'd you fix it too? You know?
Yeah, and then how did you
So
overcome it?
one time, I tell this story like all the time because
Sorry,
it
guys.
has
Oh
to
my
do
God.
with.
I gotta take a sip.
Yeah.
She-
Oh my god. I'm over here laughing already. I can't fucking. She takes a sip too. Hell yeah.
It smells. I'm
Yeah.
so like.
Cheers, guys. Shout out to 25-8.
Cheers to that client. So it was a couple of years back, and there was like a lot of things going on in life at that time, like very hectic things. So I was very like, my brain was just
on overdrive.
yeah, and I highlighted my client's hair, came out great, and she wanted a haircut. And it was like 9:00 at night at this point. And I had just gotten so many phone calls of like the situation that was going on, like outside of work. And so my brain was just like,
Yeah, you're fried.
yeah. So I'm like doing her haircut. And when you do something so much, you kind of just, it's like you're driving.
zone out.
Yeah, you zone out. So I'm cutting her hair. After I finish cutting it, I'm like gonna go in to like start thinning out her ends to like soften it up so it's not so blunt. And I just like, I pick up my scissor, I grab her hair, and I like go to thin it out. And I drop it, and all of a sudden I like hear her go, oh my God. And I look in the mirror, and I took the regular scissor and not the thinning scissor, and I just cut her hair to her chin.
You left her bald.
And I was like, she's like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God.
Oh
and we're
my
just like,
God.
oh my God.
At the same time, yeah.
It's like something out of a movie.
And I was like, I was speechless because I've never done anything like that. And I was like, I am so sorry. Don't worry. We're going to fix this.
Good,
And she's like, how are you going to fix it? I was like, I have a bunch of tape extensions. Like, we're going to put it in your hair and you're not going to even notice it. So I put these tape extensions in her hair. I blend it out and I fix it. And she's like, okay, thank you. But like, I don't like the tape extensions. Like, I don't want these.
I want a natural.
So I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to buy keratin extensions. They're like glue extensions. They're like invisible. I was like, I'm going to go buy extensions. You're going to come in tomorrow and we're going to fix it. So I cancel my whole day. I go buy these extensions, which are not cheap,
Right, yeah.
I don't charge her for her hair. I go buy these extensions. I have her come in. I put these extensions into her head that are like light and like less noticeable. We cut her hair. We fix it. Like, it's not really noticeable. And I think it looked good. I never saw her again, but
she's like, honey, I still don't like it.
I don't know. It was as good as it was gonna get. Like, and obviously, when one side has extension, one side does, it was as good as it was gonna get.
So
it was
what,
she was able to leave the salon looking normal.
What did that teach you?
I mean, I don't know what it taught me.
Like, maybe a little more patience, or being a little more slow, or listening a little better, or I don't know.
I think just to not be like exhausted and working.
Yeah.
Not overdo
like,
yourself, right?
Yeah.
Not overextend yourself,
Yeah.
and knowing when to like your limits as well as a
Yeah.
human being. 'Cause,
Exactly.
like, we're all humans at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can only do so much for so long. You know what I mean? Before you're like,
For sure.
fuck, yeah, I'm tapped out.
Sure. So I think I fixed the situation as best as I can, but like I take full accountability. Like, I tell people the story. Like, I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. Like, I've done it. Like,
At this salon?
no, it wasn't
Okay,
here.
cool. Yeah. I see the rewards. I see the fucking awards on the side here on the wall. So
No,
I don't think it was this.
It wasn't
for
here.
sure. Yeah.
But I mean, she didn't yelp me, so
I know you're lucky with that one.
couldn't have been that bad.
But you do, like he was just saying, so you have awards. We mentioned it earlier. What are they for?
So I guess like Glendale City gives out awards for businesses that get rated like the best this or that or.
And you've been open for 2 years.
Yeah.
And the 2 years you've been open, you've won these awards.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know how it
shout out to
happened.
you.
Like
Yeah.
you don't apply to. I didn't apply to anything. I didn't pay
They
for
got
anything.
their eye out there.
I just
Yeah.
got I got an email one day saying like you've been nominated like this that, and then I get another email saying, oh, you won. Like if you want a plaque, like you have to pay for it. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Sure. Like I'll pay for the plaque. Like. And then the next year I got the same thing. And I was like, but how do how do you so I called them and I was like, is this fake? Like, is this a real thing?
I'm not trying to put up some fake fucking plaques on my
exactly.
wall.
Ashton Kutcher at?
Yeah, and
punked on me or
exactly. I was like, and they're like, no, it's real. And I was like, okay, because there was like a typo on your email, and they're like, yeah, we've been trying to fix that for a while. Like, it's real. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I guess thanks. Like,
No,
but I
that's
never
awesome.
I never applied for anything. I never.
No, because I'm sure there's a lot of salons here in Glendale, and for you being open 2 years and winning that award back to back definitely has to mean something, especially if you don't apply for it and people are just like looking out for that and you win those without you trying to even be engaged in them and you still are there. Like that speaks volume about your shop, you know, what you're doing. You know what I mean? So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Are you shooting for? You got 2022 up there, 2023.
I mean, I would love
2024
for both
coming
of
up.
those
Yeah,
sides to get full. So
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah. Share some behind the scenes, and we'll go in a more positive direction with this. Like, give us one or two, if you can, like behind the scenes of a memorable moment that happened and it just stuck with you, and it's like, this is why I do what I do.
A memory.
It's okay. And we'll pause right here and we'll cut it back into where you remember.
Okay.
Yeah. So take your time. Ask the question again, Ty.
Like
So-
a memorable moment of doing
Yeah,
hair.
like give us some, like, I guess not necessarily behind the scenes, but like what's a moment that happened in the shop
Where you're like,
What-
fuck, this is what
whether
this is.
was like you, or even it could be like something that happened with one of your girls here and you helped them, but like what was something that just was like that, like it reminded you of why you started what you started and built what you built?
I think, okay, actually, no, I know this one. It has nothing to do with me. I think the most memorable thing now is seeing like my assistants that have worked for me, like become like their own stylists and just literally killing it, like seeing them grow. And yeah, I did teach them and they did start from me.
Hey, it's cool to toot your own horn.
And it's honestly, it's so great to
Yeah.
see like the girls that you have like trained and shadowed and mentored, like become the stylists that they are. Because say whatever you want, I have some of the best colorists here. And I'm not saying we're the
Shout
only
out to
best
them.
colorists in the city. Like there are great stylists, don't twist this. But I have raised some very talented girls and they're so young still that they're going to kill it. And honestly, like that makes me happier than me doing hair and like seeing, like obviously I love seeing my clients leave happy, but I love seeing their clients leave even happier.
Yeah.
Like that's like, I'm like, yeah, that's my girl. Like
Yeah.
that makes
I
me
did that shit.
happier.
I did
yeah,
that
like
shit.
I'm like, she's
Yeah.
that was because of me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is, because you know, I think everyone in business, you always have a teacher or a mentor or someone you look up to that teaches you. No one does it on their own. And again, another cliche thing, but it's so true. Like whether it's someone that helped, whether it's YouTube University,
Yeah.
Google MD, I mean, you name it. But, you know, it goes back to getting, you know, that mentorship, and then you being the mentor, you get that like feeling inside where you're like, I want to see my team win, and like
That makes me win.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I love that.
So I would say that is one of the most like
Do you see yourself like doing some more like of that on the back end to where you're just more teaching instead of just styling yourself, or are you seeing yourself as more of a stylist, like full on?
both. I eventually want to do both. I love to teach. I was a gymnastics coach for like a really long time. It's more so like getting out of my comfort zone to teach. So
comfort zone. You seem pretty comfortable with what you're doing.
No,
Yeah,
one-on-one or like
yeah.
1-on-2, 1-on-3 max comfortable, but like to to do
A full
classes like
seminar?
no, like I don't know about seminars or any of that because I'll be like, but I really want to do like 1-on-1 color classes or like 1-on-3, like super small and intimate. Like I think that's definitely, I've been working on that. I just don't know when I'm gonna like pop it out, but
Well, I mean,
that's definitely next. And on top of that, just eventually, maybe like I only work 4 days a week, but
Yeah.
like 3 would be nice one day.
Straight up.
and I feel like you could too if you start like doing those mentoring classes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it takes you away from like so much of the salon work and more
Yeah.
into like what you're doing now is like coaching the people that come onto the shop
Yeah.
and teach them how to do like quality work. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, I could see you doing that for sure. 100%. Yeah.
What's some advice that you would give to another hairstylist that was, you know, on the come up? Obviously, everyone's situation is different, but what would you say to them that's like, hey, just do it? Like,
Because I know there's a lot of haters in this space too, where they hate on each other and they don't want to see like
they do, especially with
progress.
social media.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
try
yeah.
to tear you down.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
F that girl.
I've
blah,
never
blah, blah.
had like hater comments, but like, okay, I make these obnoxious videos on my Instagram,
We'll repost one after we post this.
and
clip,
I
guys. Yeah.
like, I literally, I talk super annoying. I'm like, hi guys, come to work with me. This is what I do. Like, I'm so obnoxious,
Day
but
in
I
the
do
life.
it for a reason. And everyone's like, Mel, like your videos are so annoying. I was like, but that brings me money, and
Yeah.
what you're doing doesn't.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
unfollow me.
Yeah.
And then like I have my clients that are like, Mel, your videos are so funny. But it's like,
Right?
if you know me, like, okay, I do have a Valley Girl accent, but I don't fucking talk like that all the time. Like,
Valley Girl.
hi guys, like, do you want a balayage? Like, no, like,
For our media
I'm
side's
like, are you
pulling out.
fucking dumb?
For our media
Like,
side sticking out real quick.
like
Hell
you're
yeah.
dumb. No,
That's funny.
no one's dumb. But like, obviously, I do it for a reason.
Yeah.
And ever since I started those videos, I've gained so many new clients. They're like, I saw your videos, like they're so funny. Like you do things to bring in business.
Business,
You know,
content,
like,
Of course,
yeah.
it's
and
a strategy.
Yeah.
I'm posting pictures. No one gives a fuck about the pictures. So I was
I
like,
feel like-
okay, let me try something new. And it works. It works. So
I feel like it's
Yeah.
the people around you that don't care about it too much, but like it's the people that don't know you that actually engage with that content.
yeah,
Like, oh, wow,
exactly.
outside
I'm
is
not
outside,
posting that for everyone that knows me to watch. Like you already
Right.
know who I am.
Exactly.
Like
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what advice would you give to someone?
honestly, just put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there. You need to do all the free work. You need to post the content. You need to post the videos. You need to be obnoxious. You need to be different. Like people need to know, like, oh, she's the girl that does this, or he's the guy that does that, or
Right.
she's the girl that does this with her work. Like, there's so many content creators. I'm not a content creator, but there's so many
You're a
content
content
creators
creator.
We all are.
that I see, and I was like, oh my god, like I know her because of the things that she does. I was like,
Yes.
I don't even look at her work, but I'm like, oh my god, the fact that she does this, it's so like it grabs me, you know?
You're branding yourself.
Exactly. So I think you have to just do it. Like, who cares what people say?
No, yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like,
No, I
Yeah.
agree. I feel like everyone has that unique side of them, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
If you, don't put
If
that,
you care what people have to say about you, then you're already doomed. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
already, people are
seriously.
going to talk about you
No matter what.
no matter what.
You
You're
could be the
doing good,
nicest
they're going to
person in
talk
the world.
about you. You're doing bad, they're going to talk about you. You're
Sure.
nice, they're going to talk about you. You're a bitch, they're going to talk about you. So just do what's going to
Do
make
you.
you
Do you.
happy and your
Yeah.
business grow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's my personal
No, I
opinion.
agree.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
There are a lot of haters out there, you know what I mean? And it's like everyone has their own personality. So it's like do
Yeah.
what fits you best because that is what makes you unique to everyone else.
Exactly.
You know what I
If
mean?
we were all the same,
Yeah.
it would be very
So
boring.
boring.
Yeah.
Right?
Even
Yeah.
like me and all my friends, like we're so different, but like we have so much fun together. And
Yeah.
like somehow, like even being so different, we all manage to like mesh with each other,
Yeah.
you know? Like even the girls in this salon were all so different.
Yeah.
The only thing we have in common is doing hair.
Well, it creates a different dynamic, and that's what makes the world go around.
Honestly, first of all, I think our ages, because we're just like the
You're 21, right?
Yeah,
22?
I'm 21. I'm 30, and most of the girls are like below 25. So
Okay.
yeah, so I feel like
You're mama bear in the
I'm
shop.
mama bear. I mean, a couple of us are like above 30, but the majority of the girls that I'm always with are like my
Just
assistants who are younger than me, and I'm just like, what? Like, huh? But and obviously the things they like in life are so much different than what I like in life, and
But I
that
feel like
just
that
makes
young-
us all different.
Yeah,
but
I feel like that young culture also brings in what's new to you as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're I'm not saying you're at an older age, but you bring on these newer clients or newer hairstylists that are, below you, or I'm not saying below you, but obviously have less experience. Exactly.
less
So they bring on like a
experience.
little more of like their kind of, upbringing, and they bring that to you, and then you
Or new
learn-
trends.
Yeah.
So
for
is
sure.
that what keeps you new on what's going on, what's popping? You're on the streets kind of thing?
On
Or
the
how do you stay like, with what's current?
Definitely the younger girls. They'll
Right?
say things. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
They're like, what? Like, that's cap. I'm like, what is that's cap? Or like, they'll say some things. I'm like, what is that? And they're like, you're 30. And I was like,
Damn.
I was like, okay, thank you. But no,
That's
they
funny.
definitely keep me young and teach me things. But I would be fine not knowing them.
No, but I feel like you do need to know that, because like it brings on like a different type of network and
Yeah, with
clientele,
social media, they definitely
yeah.
my newest assistant. I was like, okay, what do we do to make something like
What's popping this
yeah,
week?
like she'll be like, oh, this video, okay, we'll do this, and then we'll do that, and I was like, okay, perfect, like thank you, like
Yeah.
so they do things, they teach me things, and they take care of things that I no longer can do.
I'm not
Right.
saying you can't do, but you don't have time for it as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're so busy with running the shop, running your own clientele as
Yeah.
well, making sure all those projects come out perfect, so you don't
Yeah.
have time to like look out with what the current trends are. And
Yeah,
stuff like
for
that,
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like with relationships, the girls in the shop and stuff, it's, they provide you value in a different way, and you provide them value in a different way, right? And
Yeah.
it comes full circle
Yeah.
and stuff,
I don't refer to any of them as like my employees. Like I refer to everyone as my coworkers. Even if they're my
Yeah.
assistant, my coworker. We're all
Perfect.
coworkers. We all teach each other things. We all like help each other. We're all the same,
Keeping on the
Obviously
same
some
plane,
people
yeah.
have more experience than others, but
You don't want to say make yourself like feel better than anyone else. you know what I
yeah,
mean?
like sometimes
Yeah.
clients will be like, oh, well, I wanted to go to Mel, but she's too expensive, so I came to you. And I was like, that's so rude. Like, don't say that to the stylist before
Yeah,
sitting in your
exactly.
chair. Like, no. Like,
I like
if
when you're
anything,
surrounded. yeah.
she's gonna focus on your hair way more than I am. Like, you're
Yeah.
in better hands.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
there's some things like you don't say.
Yeah,
But I guess that's just dealing with different personalities.
exactly.
No,
Exactly.
for sure. No, I could see that 100%, man. Imagine, dude, having your own like place and like trying to keep up with the trends, and like I would keep my hair.
Personalities,
I
all
can't
that.
keep up.
I would
Yeah.
keep up with like the people I bring on. Like, okay, you're teaching me stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I have younger cousins, and like we hang out and stuff like into like even the dating world. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, so what's going on out there? What is it like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not saying I'm so far from that age, but that age gap. But it definitely comes into play for
Yeah,
sure. Like
for
they
sure.
are definitely more in tune with the street. So why not use
So
that to your
were we
advantage?
when we were
You know what I mean?
22.
Yeah,
Right?
You know?
You are.
Yeah, it's just a different era.
Yeah. Well,
Hell
give us a takeaway. Kind of reframing the question earlier, but give us like a takeaway, more so on the business side. Like what was one thing that you really learned and took away becoming your own business owner compared to when you first started out, whether you were, the commissioner 1099 working at your other two salons first, but now coming in as the actual business owner. Like give us the biggest takeaway that you're like, this is something I wish I would have known beforehand, and this is something that people should know before opening up their
Starting
own
out.
practice, whether it's hair, pizza shop, whatever.
I don't think it's something like I wish I would have known. It's more so like before I had my own place, like I'm a very blunt person. And
No.
I would say I still am. But like when I didn't have my salon, like if someone was being like super rude or was like just being a thing, like I would snap back. Like, but like now you have your own place and you like, I see myself saying things to like clients that I'm like, oh my God, like you don't talk like that, Mel. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that you were like, I will totally, you know, like you need to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like it's your business, it's your reputation. Like you got to swallow your pride and make sure like everyone's happy. Like you get a bad Yelp review. Okay. You read it. Is there any way you can help? Like, is there any way you can fix it? You know?
Yeah.
But like before owning a salon, like you don't care about that stuff. Oh, you want to give me a bad Yelp? I don't care. You know, like it's just, you care a lot more about
putting your ego aside is a big thing, right?
Yes. You put your ego aside, you swallow whatever you want to say.
Swallow the pride and you know, make sure the customer's happy because they're who is keeping the lights on, right? And they're who is also like referring people mouth to mouth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, honestly. Other than that, I do feel like every business is different. Like
absolutely.
So opening up a hair salon when you already know the business and you kind of already know what's happening and a lot of, like it's a very independent type of business. It's a little easier than opening up like, I don't know, a restaurant or like I don't know, a clothing store. I feel like it's a little easier, but maybe I'm saying that because I know
the industry.
The ins and outs. Like if I tried to open up like a business that I knew nothing about, like I'm sure it would be a lot harder.
Sure.
So what's in store for you for the next, I don't want to say 5 years because I feel like that's so far off and you've only been open 2 years. You've already won Glendale back to back. You know what I mean? You're probably getting it this next year. Where do you see yourself in the next year or two? Just, you know, continuing the shop or, you know, bringing more people on? I know you were also talking about maybe doing like some mentoring programs and stuff like that for girls.
I would say in the next year, I'll probably start like teaching more, doing some like one-on-ones, maybe 1-on-3s if I'm getting wild.
Hey.
And just like share what I know. I feel like I've taken in a lot. I've worked with a lot of talented people. I've learned a lot. I've turned it into my own, and I kind of just want to share that. And I love doing hair, don't get me wrong, but your girl's tired.
It's a lot, right?
It's a lot.
Being on your feet all day.
It's a lot. Like, especially running a business and working. Like, I haven't cut my hours. Like, I still work. I take my 4 clients a day every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you know, pop in on Saturdays, make sure the place is doing fine. Yeah. And then, but I just, eventually, my clients are going to be so upset hearing this because they're already like, I can't get in with you. I would like to take another day out.
Yeah.
And just work. I know. She's like, no. And work like 3 days a week. And then one of the days, like, teach.
Yeah. So give back.
Give back. I want to give back to the beauty world.
Exactly.
Delegate responsibility also as well, to where it's like not on you 24/7.
Yeah.
Maybe hire a shop manager.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
You know, my newest assistant, she's been doing great.
What's her name? Shout out to her.
Shout out to Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah. What's up,
honestly, no, shout out to all my assistants, Kenny, Caitlin. Shout out to my whole team.
Okay,
like,
cool.
no
Shout
one's specific.
out
But so Sarah, I have 2 assistants. That's how I like to work. I like to have 2 assistants, 1 new one that's more
seasoned.
No, one that's more, that's seasoned. And then when the seasoned one is ready, she goes, and then the newer one is now the seasoned one, and we bring in someone new.
It's like sales, bro. Keeping that pipeline.
So you have, like the
it's always like
the more knowledge assistant teaches the newer one, and then it's kind of just like a new thing. So like Caitlin was my day one, and then Kenny came in. Caitlin taught Kenny. Caitlin's on the floor. Now Sarah's in. Kenny's teaching Sarah. Like, it's just
Yeah, that's cool.
But Sarah, she like really helps like manage the place, and because like some of our clients, they only like speak Armenian, and like Kenny doesn't speak Armenian, so Kenny can't take care of that, you know? So when it was just me and Kenny, I would have to leave my clients and go take care of that.
You speak Armenian?
Yeah, I speak Armenian.
Oh, nice.
So now Sarah does all that for me, and she's great with the phone calls. She's great with the clients. Like, she's taken a lot off of like
Your
My load.
your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tyler
Shit.
Subin, my dog. You know, I love
Ivan
you. buddy.
Rowe.
Yeah. Mel, love you, girl. Thank you so much for being on. And the 25-8 guys,
25A, baby.
we out.